Good morning. For those of you who don't know, I am Daniel Kelly. I've been in New Thought, Religious Science, or Unity for 35 years. I'm very blessed to be here. I'm very grateful to be here. And I am very thankful to all of the people that made my appearance possible, certainly Sherry and John especially. And I'm very grateful to welcome back Gary Lalonde. Thank you for being back with us. This is my first time with you all being up here on the platform. So please be gentle with me. And if everything goes okay, hopefully we can finish by noon. One of the things, well, let me ask it a different way. How many people watch Joel Osteen? Okay. All right, I watch him every week. He likes to start with something funny, right? I appreciate that, and I enjoy his humor. So I want to put a little humor in my platforming as well, okay? So this one's for the ladies, okay? I think it's for the ladies. It says, laughter is the best medicine, but wine gets the job done faster. So I hope you're going to appreciate that. I know. Too good for you, huh? Do you want to come talk about it? Okay, let's start our service and get serious. Whoop, too far. There. All right, rise please, and we'll sing our opening song, One Life. I'm going to depart a little bit here from what you may be used to. I'm going to pray my own prayer rather than read the prayer that's written, because I would like to shine a different light, another light, on inner peace. And I'm reminded that the psalmist said in Psalm 46, peace. Be still and know that I am God. And Jesus, as quoted in Mark 4, rebuked the waves in the storm on the Sea of Galilee. He said, please, peace, be still. So I'd like you to know with me, as I know, that God is all there is. And in that allness, we are included. We can't be excluded, because there's no place that God is less. There's no place that God is not. We can't say, oh, God's over there and I'm here. I love the name of this movement, Unity, because we are one. Jesus said, I and the Father are one. And I look at the attributes of God that I know, and I say, wow, does God wear a wristwatch? No. God doesn't know what time it is. He doesn't need to know what time it is because he's infinite. He's all time. And I look at God and say, well, what about the strife in God? What about the turmoil in God? What about the tossed seas and the hurricanes? No, those aren't there either. Because God is peace. And in that peace, we are created. We are created in His image, so we carry that image of peace with us. And I know that in that image of peace within us, we can turn it around, and that peace within can become peace without. And when peace is without, it can become peace throughout. And therein lies what I think is the hope for the world, of peace on earth. We sing about that at the end of the service. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. It doesn't say let it end with me, it says let it begin. We are the source because God is in us. I know this to be truth. I know it to be the only truth there is. I am thankful for this truth. I know this word is not only in me, but it applies to all I see, that all are within my voice, for all that may be with us on YouTube. And I am truly grateful as I let this word go, knowing that it is so, and so it is. I'd like for you to read with me our statement of faith together. There is only one power and one presence in my life and in the universe. God, the good, omniscient, present, and omnipotent. Our core values, again, together. Unity of Port St. Lucie encourages diversity and embraces harmonious and creative pursuits of truth and knowledge in a safe environment to achieve balance and wholeness in the world. That's a beautiful statement to me. And it says meet and greet, and it says welcome. May all who came as guests leave as friends. Typically, I think places say, well, let's welcome visitors. I don't think there are visitors, because I want to call them first-timers. They just haven't been here before. Because if they come back again, they're not a visitor for a second time. They're part of the family. So I would welcome anyone that is here as a first-timer to plan on coming back. So if you're here for the first time, please raise your hand so we can recognize you, know who you are. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. You are welcome beyond words, beyond the heart, to the truth of what is. And you're always welcome back. I would like to invite you to, wave and greet and do your social distancing thing by saying, hi, how are you? to people that you want to greet. All are welcome.
Yes. We'll just keep encroaching.
We're going, what? They did. They raised their hands. Back there, too. There are three of them. They don't have to. Well, okay. Could we ask our first timers to please give us their names?
Holly.
Holly, thank you. And your names, please, if you're willing.
Sure.
Give us your names, please, if you're willing.
Mary and Jim.
Mary and Jim. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Daniel, it's not just me.
Pardon?
It's not just me getting instructions from the wife. I feel good.
Yeah, but see, I can't play the piano, so you're up against it now.
You might want to get a bottle of that 7-year-old memory stuff.
I left it at home. we're going to sing a song. Will you please rise?
Healing begins within. God knows all our needs, and we have the power of life. We have the power of life. Can't do what don't feel right. World changes every day, and we have the power of life. Forgiveness, peace, revenge, and peace will win the war. Release and let God work, and we have the power of life. We have the power of life. Can't do what don't feel right. World changes every day, and we have the power of life. We have the power of life. Can't do what don't feel right. World changes every day, and we have the power of life. We have the power, and we have the power of life. And we have the power of, one more time, we have the power, and we have the power of
Please be seated. Now we're going to hear from some people that can really sing.
I'm not standing alone. I have what I need.
Thank you very much, Voices from Within, and Linda, and Jeff. I'm glad you remembered the music
This time.
this time. I'd like to invite Ann up to read the daily word for us, please.
Good morning. The daily word for August 16th. I shine my light and feel protected. Feelings of fear that crept into my life may conjure childhood memories of scary nighttime images and noises. As a child, I may have felt afraid of the dark or startled by unfamiliar sound. But the morning sun always dispelled the darkness, and I realized there was never anything to fear. I keep that knowledge alive as I let the divine presence within dissolve the darkness of fear and shine the light of comfort and safety. Now, when any darkness descends in my life, I remember the protecting love, presence, and power of God expressing as me. As I attune more fully to my divine nature, light dawns within my consciousness, and I realize that God's protection is always mine. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Please repeat the daily word with me. I shine my light and feel protected.
Thank you, Ann. I think our slide got a little mixed up, but I thank you for your reading. Surely the presence will be followed by a guided meditation by Gary, and follow that with Alleluia. Please join us.
As you sit back in your chair, I'd ask that you just get yourself all comfortable. Open your heart and your hands and your mind. And maybe you just want to extend those hands out on your lap, palms up. And take a great big deep breath. And allow that breath to just leave you, and as it does so, all of the concerns, all of those perceived fears, all of those anxieties just melt away. And as you take in your next breath, you feel an inner peace, an inner calm, an inner awareness that you have that Spirit of God dwelling right within you. You're a very, very special person. You carry the light of God's love throughout the world with everything that you do, with every thought that you think, with every step that you take, with every smile you give. And I would ask of you, as you just sit there and feel this just awesome, awesome presence of love, of peace, knowing that your decision this morning to get up, to come here, to turn on the TV, to be here in this presence, of love was the best, the most perfect decision that you could make today. God, we ask that you allow us to tune in more and more with every breath that we take to your love, to the awareness of your love for us and everything around us, even those things that we deem to be out of order, wrong. Everything is in divine order. And it's sometimes us that steps out of that awareness. I feel my own shoulders just starting to relax. And that I feel that tingling through my entire body as I become aware of the cough that reminds me of everything that is happening is perfect. And we just, Lord, we come totally at peace within ourselves. And we become aware of how blessed we really are. How much love that you've shared with us for us, that we now share for us, within us. It's a journey that we would love for everyone on the face of this earth to take. And Lord, I believe it is your request of us to be that light, to let people know that this journey of love, of peace, of respect, is the best journey you'll ever take. And by taking this, you'll get to know this peace, this being still, this being one. Wow. Wow. And as I hear my own words, which are not mine but yours, God, my shoulders just continue to just relax even more. And I just continue to feel a tingling that brings joy to my heart. And I pray that it's bringing joy to every person here, on TV, in the universe. That as they reach out, accept this journey of love. It will warm you. It'll guide you. It will enlighten your journey. Thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing us to know this journey and to be able to celebrate this journey with every breath that we take. Thank you, God. Thank you.
Thank you, light switchers. I appreciate that. Very necessary function. Very appreciated. Thank you. Gary, thank you for a beautiful meditation. I appreciate the stillness that goes with it, and I hope that's universal. It's my pleasure to again introduce Gary. He's our speaker for today. For those of you that have been here before, you know him well and appreciate him. I hope you appreciate him as much as I do. For those that are first-timers, not visitors. You have a chance to get to know somebody that I think is very, very good at doing what we've asked him to do. So Gary, thank you very much.
Well, I was interested in the 35-year journey within the Unity Church, and I was doing my math, and I started in 1985, so we must have been pretty close to starting our journey. 83, thank you. I cannot start without thanking you. See, he's gone. He's gone. You, Paul, Sherry, the board. Isn't this just a wonderful place to come and celebrate our joy, our peace? And I want to thank each and every one of you for always welcoming me into your home. As I've shared with you in the past, I've had the privilege of speaking at Unity churches internationally, and I love coming back here. The love, the joy, the music, this. It's always wonderful. And I'm excited for you to have Reverend Linda coming and filling this long-term, if I may, like void, a leader. And I just would ask that if Linda needed to go someplace or not be here, that you might consider having me come back and fill in while she's away, because those are big shoes to fill when you're filling Linda's. I'd like you to know that I just get a kick out of you. It's such a positive thing. You remind me of somebody very special in my life. And then between the two of you, the walls aren't wide enough for all of your joy and exercise and energy and that. So it's a joy. Thank you. And you're all good, okay? But this one here, that energy, you'd think she's on Red Bull before she gets here, And by the way, I would like to know why that wine thing triggered such a big laugh, okay? In my 34 years, and please understand, the Unity principles have saved my life and gave me a direction that I didn't think was possible for me. So it humbles me to be able to live these principles. And in that journey, I had to learn to stop listening to this voice over here and start allowing this voice to come through. And my preference for this is I was all prepared for today because Sherry and the board really place an awesome responsibility on you to ask you to deliver the lesson. And it's nothing I'll ever take for granted. And I was prepared for today until this morning when this little voice gave me another direction. And it reminded me of a story that I'd heard as this young man was sharing how he likes to start a program. This gentleman was taking a walk through the woods, and it was all a brand new area to him. And without realizing, taking in the sunshine and the beauty of where he was, he stepped off the edge of a cliff and fell a long way. In his desperation to save his own life, he started just reaching to grabbed onto this branch that came out of the side of the cliff. And he's hanging there, and he goes through all of that, what's happened to me and everything. And he goes in prayer and he goes, Lord, help me, please. And the voice comes back and it says, let go. Dear Lord, if you're up there, please help me. And the voice again comes back, let go. Lord, I'm fearful. What is it you want me to do? And he said, let go. And with that, the man's trust kicked in. And as he fell the 6 inches, his feet touched the ground. So the good Lord spoke to me this morning. And this is way on a character for me to read what I want to read. But I'm not doing this because I think I should. I'm doing this because I was told to do this. Because the computer was shut down, the printer was all shut down, and it was like 5 minutes to 9. And of course, following Sherry's love and direction, be here at 9:15. And I encourage you to come at 9:15. It's like the comedy hour here, okay? And you'll gain insights you won't by coming at 10 o'clock, okay? So here's what the good Lord asked me to print out and share with you today, and it's titled Shoes in the Church. So just be patient with me. I showered and shaved and adjusted my tie. I got there and sat in a pew just in time. Bowing my head in prayer as I closed my eyes, I saw the shoe of a man next to me touching my own, and I sighed. With plenty of room on either sides, I thought, why must our souls touch? It bothered me, his shoes touching mine, but it didn't bother him much. A prayer began. Our Father, I thought, this man with the shoes has no pride. They're dusty, worn, scratched. Even worse, there were holes in the side. Thank you for blessings, the prayer went on. The shoe man said a quiet amen. I tried to focus on the prayer, but my thoughts were on the shoes again. Aren't we supposed to look our best when walking through that door? Well, that certainly isn't, I thought, glazing down towards the floor. Then the prayer was ended and the song of praise began. The shoeman was certainly loud sounding, proud of as he sang. His voice filled the rafters, his hands were raised. The Lord could surely hear the shoeman's voice from the sky. It was time for the offering, and what I drew in was steep. I watched the shoeman reach deep into his pockets. I saw what he pulled out, and the shoeman put it in when I heard a soft clink, as when silver touches tin. The sermon really bored me to tears, and that's no lie. It was the same for the shoeman, for the tears fell from his eyes. And at the end of the service, as the custom were, we greeted new members and showed them good cheer. But I felt moved somehow. I wanted to meet the shoeman. So after the closing prayer, I reached over and shook his hand. He was old, his skin was dark, and his hair was truly a mess. But I thanked him for coming, for being our guest. He said, "My name is Charlie, and I'm glad to meet you, my friend." There were tears in his eyes, but he had a large, wide grin. "Let me explain," he said, wiping tears from his eyes. "I've been coming here for months, and you're the first to say hi. I know that my appearance is not like all of the rest, but I really do try to always look my best. I always clean and polish my shoes before my very long walk, but by the time I get here, they're dirty and dusty like chalk. My heart filled with pain, and I swallowed to hide my tears as he continued to apologize for daring to sit so near. He said, when I get here, I know I must look a sight, but thought if I could touch you, then maybe our souls might reunite. It was silent for a moment, knowing whatever was said would pale in comparison. I spoke from my heart, not my head. "Oh, you've touched me," I said. "You taught me in part that the best part of any man is found in his heart. The rest," I thought, "the shoeman will never know. Just like how thankful I really am that this dirty old shoe touched my soul. You are special to me, and you have made a difference in my life. I respect you and truly cherish you. The old man in the shoe. We talked today a bit about how this is a changing world. And it's going to continue in my mind to change. Directions we don't know. But what I think is important to me and to you is to stay focused on your journey of learning more than ever before to love yourself and to love every person that comes into your life, whether it be an email, a text, or the dirty shoe touching yours, white and black high heels. Isn't it interesting the choices we have in life? Isn't it interesting that we do that judgment thing so quickly? It's like looking at a book's title cover. There's nothing in there for me. And with that attitude, you're right again. I don't want to rehash the journey of fear that I was in until the young lady I was dating gave me the option of coming to a Unity church or spending an evening without her. And it was only our third date. And when she told me she wanted to come hear a speaker speak, that just about killed me, you know. And then she told me it was in a church. That did, okay. And I made up excuses. It was a busy time for both of us. You go hear your speaker. I'll go do what I've got to do, and then we'll hook up later, you know. And she said, if you want to see me Wednesday night, you'll see me from the beginning of the evening. And as Paul Harvey said, you now know the rest of the story. The fear. We know there's only two emotions in life. Love and fear. How much fear have you allowed to seep back into your existence over this year of 2020? I personally believe we're being bombarded with fearful stories and images every day. And I would respectfully suggest that maybe you'd not turn that channel on anymore. I can remember maybe 20 years ago, the terrorist thing had been really brought to light. And I had the privilege, I was speaking for women in the National Association of Women in Insurance. And I don't know, there were 7,500, 10,000 attendees at this meeting. And I made a statement is that, you know, the terrorists are not filled with love. They have a love for the damage they're wishing to do, but it's not from a love base. And I really think the true terrorists in this country is the entertainment media industry. I got a standing ovation that, you know, what are they promoting today is just all fear and negativity. So what I'm asking you to do when you come back here, bring a friend, a neighbor with you. Stop keeping this to be a best-kept secret. And I thank you, and of course both of you, dear friends, for coming to Unity of Port St. Lucie. And I'm asking you that as you look at who you invite, don't look at their shoes first. It's the message that's inside of here that you want to share out. And I think there's no better example than your own board president, Sherry. You know, she works so hard. It's just, It's not a passion, it's her love, it's her life. This is what she wants to do, is to help and lead. And then the board members that were smart enough to pick her as president, you know? What an incredible building you have here. And as I spoke to Jim and Mary this morning when they came for the first time, had no idea that this was so big. Well, it has to be this big to hold all of the love and the joy and the wishes that we have for ourselves and for everyone else. So, as we leave here, what do you think the lessons are? What do you think we learned from today's reading? Which, boy, you did a nice job with that, because it's not always the easiest thing to do, is to stand up and watch people watch, because some of them do hold in their hands the daily word, and they're watching to see if you read it right, you know? Yeah, thank you. And, of course, you, sir. If this is what you think is your first time of leadership, you bring a vast background in leadership to be able to do what you do so smoothly, so succinctly, and so professionally. You, Linda, I love you. I love watching you get involved, okay? Helping these young ladies to shine. Not that they need much help, but you sure bring out the best of them. And your talent is obvious, because look at what you've done with him, okay? So in closing, let's look at today and every day forward. What my message had been and was called After Effects. See, we're not doing our affirmations like we used to do them. I think as we grow in maturity, we look at affirmations as a necessary convenience when we get into trouble, or whether our family members are in trouble, or in your case, if he's in trouble, you know. It's wonderful, because here was my notes for today, and I think the first 3 lines does it. What are you feeding your mind? Do you know that your mind thinks between 65 and 85,000 thoughts per day? And here's the sad, surprising statistics. About 85% of the thoughts you think today are the same thoughts you thought yesterday. You know, I call that automatic pilot. And we've all done this, and you may even do it going home from here today. You get into the car, you pray that it starts, okay? It roars to life. You pull out of the driveway. You go, well, that was good. I love what Daniel did. I love what the choir did. It was nice that Jeff behaved. And you make the right-hand turn out of the parking lot, and you go through all the rest of today, what you're going to do, appointments for the week. All of a sudden, holy smoly, there's the driveway. And you pull into the driveway, and you literally, before you turn it off, go, how did this happen? How did I get here? Because I was 1,000,000 miles away doing other things. And that's why today's thoughts, many of them were again yesterday thoughts. I'm asking you to think back to today's lesson about the shoes in the church. That man sitting there next to the shoes had this image of what we should look like when we get to church, how we should behave when we get to church, how everything is. And he's thought those thoughts over and over and over, just like we do the thoughts that we have when we look in the mirror and go, oh boy. And what a shame, because that image is a reflection of perfection. And that's why I'm asking you to change that 85% of your thoughts that you hold every day. Change them. Allow them to lift you, to engulf you, to embrace you. to show you love that maybe you're not feeling elsewhere. Because it's my feeling, it's my belief that until you truly learn to love yourself, it's a tough, tough spot to put other people in to love you when you don't love yourself. You're awesome. I ask that God touch your heart, bless you with the knowledge of how special you are, how healthy you are, how happy you are, and how blessed you are. And the best way for you to know that He's done those things is for you to tell yourself every day how loved you are, how healthy you are, how blessed you are. God bless you. Thank you.
Gary, I wonder if thank you says enough. Because it comes from my heart. I'm sure it's throughout this building. And you are always welcome back. Thank you again.
There's a hole in the wall, and we can make this world whole. Peace be with you, peace be with me, peace on earth for everybody. Feel the love I have inside me.
I'll give that a double wow. Thank you so much. I watched the slide and it says voices from within. I sure am glad they get out of there. I would like to keep that bottled up. It's so beautiful. And Jeff, thank you. I was thinking as I was sitting there listening to this, that we seem to have, at least in my mind, a little theme in here that says peace. I mean, we started with a prayer for inner peace, and now we've got peace here and our peace song at the end. And I was sitting there thinking back on Jesus' words after he arose from the dead. When his disciples were thinking about a little, well, not really sure how we're going forward, and Jesus said, "My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, give I unto you." And I think with that and what we talked about earlier, what I talked about earlier, about being in unity with the peace of God, there's a peace within us, and we need to let that out much in the same way as the voices came out. So I thank you for the music. I thank you for the voices. It's wonderful. And now it's time for the collection. It's our offering. And I invite you to join me in our blessing. Please together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love because I love to give. In other churches, I've seen that middle line say, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I've wondered about that since I got here. And I've decided that I kind of like the all that I am, because I'm not just what I have, but I am a child of God. So I bless that as well. I invite you to place your offerings in the trays at the back and the table. Since we don't have the masks for the little bowls, we can't pass them around. We need social distancing. Announcements. Oh, I'm sorry. A little prayer support. Our prayer chaplain today is Stacy. Changed. Thank you. Our prayer circle on Thursdays, half hour, change your life. Where does it say that? No, that's the result, isn't it, Sherry? Joining together in prayer is powerful. Absolutely. Lana's yoga. Don't know whether the seating yoga is. No, this is just a 10 to 11. Pardon?
Just 10 to 11.
Yeah, 10 to 11. And the book club led by Sherry. Next meeting on September 4th, first Friday, excuse me. Meeting next on September 4th. Spiritual discussion group, John is going to be absent this week, so Sherry's going to take over that position this Tuesday, okay, day after tomorrow at 7 p.m. And next Sunday, ta-da! Hi, ta-da. Renee Seiler. How can I help? Beautiful topic. Look forward to it. Here comes the gratitude. An attitude of gratitude. I like to stay there. Everybody on there, plus everybody that's not on there. Thank you. And that includes everybody that's here. You know, thank you for being here. This made it possible. You made it real. Okay? Now, here's that song. Let there be peace on earth. Let's please rise and keep our social distance.
Peace on earth, over us.
Wherever we are, God is.
He is well. Go in peace, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Thank you.